Welcome to another episode of Bups's Dharma Lounge, a place and a time to relax and to investigate all things Dharma. In this episode, I present mindfulness of the parts of the body, an aspect of the first domain of mindfulness in satipatthana, mindfulness of the body. Hi, I'm Bupsa Frank Jude, and I'm welcoming you to this very delayed episode of Bupsa's Dharma Lounge. It's delayed because my laptop just went kablooey on me. I lost all sound, the ability to hear and to record. And so this is being made possible through the dana. And if you're not familiar with dana, episode 2, I discussed dana. Dana literally means sharing. And this episode is being made possible because Sangha Monica Silva is graciously sharing her computer with me in order to record this episode. Dana takes the shape of many forms. Material, like her sharing the computer with me. It also can be time, people helping me to learn different things about podcasting, and it could be money. So if you would like to support this podcast, the link in the description for Dana would be really helpful. Whatever's sent will be gratefully received. And in that sense, I would like to thank specifically people who have been offering Dana since the last episode. Jabuna Allison Brown, Gabion Sally Weber, Chatra Sandy Greenberg, Jishin Carolyn Hill, and particularly a very generous Dana from Hyokin Tatiana Staloff and Kenkyo Dana Erickson, both of them sending Dana specifically for me to buy a new laptop, which hopefully I will be able to do in the next 2 weeks or so. If you want to help, please do consider offering some dana. So in this episode, I want to continue where I left off with episode 4. In episode 4, I presented an intro to meditation. And if you are new to meditation, you might want to check that episode out, where I talk about the use of, or the need for concentration and mindfulness in any form of meditation that you might partake in. And I talk about concentration and mindfulness. And then I presented the beginning introductory practice as found in the satipatthana. Now, sati is the word that we translate as mindfulness. It actually has something to do with remembering, and I'll talk about that in a future episode. But when the Buddha offered his teachings on meditation, he presented the satipatthana, and there are 4 satipatthanas. There are 4, usually they're translated as the establishments or foundations of mindfulness. I've taken to calling them the domains or the realms for practicing mindfulness. So for instance, the first satipatthana is the body. And if we think of it as an establishment, then it's almost like we think of it as like a foundation that you build a building on, right? But really what the Buddha pointed out is that mindfulness is a faculty. It's something that you already have internally, and you're bringing it to a contemplation and awareness of the body. And in the beginning, which is what we practiced in episode 4, we begin by just practicing, focusing on the breathing, the belly rising and falling, for instance. And then we expand the awareness to the whole body, and we notice our posture. And if there's any tension being held in the body, we relax the tension. We try to calm the body. And that's as far as we went. Now, in the Satipatthana, the Buddha again continues to say that a yogi practices mindfulness in any posture they're in. And that's where mindfulness yoga comes in. You might want to check out my book, Mindfulness Yoga, which actually uses the asanas, the various postures and movements of Hatha Yoga as a vehicle for practicing mindfulness. Right? So he talks about all the different postures that you could be in. Then it goes on to activities of the body. And the Buddha includes things like getting dressed, eating, cooking, defecating, urinating, basically giving the message that we can practice mindfulness in any activity. Right? So I purposely try to practice mindfulness while folding laundry as a kind of mini practice of mindfulness. I don't have any music on. I don't distract myself. I just pay attention to folding the clothes, for instance, right? After he presents these, he goes into the parts of the body, and he lists somewhere over like 38 to 42, I forget the exact number, parts of the body. And he includes obviously things like the eyes and the ears, but he also talks about organs like the heart and the lungs. He also talks about things that we might not normally think of as a part of the body, like feces or the urine, but it's in there, so to speak, right? It's part of our body now. And so he really is presenting this as a way of growing more aware of the true nature of the body, right? In our culture, there's a lot of body dysmorphia, and then there's a response to that of like body beautiful. And I think the Buddha is presenting us with a teaching that allows us to see the reality of the body. If you don't maintain hygiene and cleanliness, you go 6, 7, 8, 9 months, the body gets a little bit repulsive, right? So the body is not inherently repulsive. It's not inherently beautiful. It just is what it is. And that's one of the reasons that we practice the body parts. However, and I will present that at some point in the future, what I wanted to do today was a more contemporary approach to body part contemplation. And it was introduced, created by Thich Nhat Hanh, who was responding to the fact that he noticed that a lot of people in the West do have body image issues, body dysmorphia. They don't like the way they look. They don't like parts of their bodies, things like that. So in a very creative move, he took a practice from the Qi Gong tradition called the inner smile. And now in the inner smile, you actually contemplate breathing in and kind of sending throughout the whole body smiling energy. And just breathing in and smiling down to the body. So what Thich Nhat Hanh did was he said, all right, we can bring in that smiling energy and direct it to the various parts of the body. Right? Breathing in, aware of the eyes. Breathing out, smiling to the eyes. Right? So that's what I'm going to present today. And it might sound simple, it might sound, I don't know, silly for some of you, but it is truly, potentially life transforming. I'll just share one example from my witnessing. In 1997, when I was still living in Brooklyn, New York, I had a student who took on this practice. He was going to do it for a month every day, right? Smiling to the body parts. And about 2.5 weeks or so into the month, he came to me and he said, I stopped smoking. Now, this was a person who had been smoking about 2 packs of cigarettes a day from the time he was 16. And at this time, he was in his late 30s. And as he said to me, he says, I intellectually knew smoking is not good for my lungs. It's not really good for our health. When I was in high school, they showed us the picture, they brought in lungs of a smoker and a non-smoker. I knew it, but it was only in actually practicing this that, like, breathing in, aware of my lungs, breathing out, smiling to my lungs, the cognitive dissonance between doing that and knowing what I was doing by smoking became so strong that I just stopped smoking. Literally, he went cold turkey and he was fine. And as far as I know, the last time I was in touch with him was about 3 years ago. He's still not smoking. He just stopped just from doing this practice. So that's what we're going to do now. I hope you enjoy it. And If you want to ask questions about it or share your experience, please go to the Bups's Dharma Lounge channel on YouTube, where you could write comments. And maybe we could really make this a very active engagement, right, in terms of practice. So with no further ado, let's get right into it. Sit comfortably. Ideally, your knees are lower than the top of your pelvis, your hips. So if you're sitting in a chair and your knees are level or higher, maybe put a little blanket or a pillow underneath. If you're sitting on the floor, again, your knees should be down below the top of the iliac crest. And then you can just rest your hands on your lap and take a deep breath in and exhale through pursed lips. Maybe do that 2 or 3 more times. Each time you exhale through the pursed lips, really settling into your seat. And then with the next exhalation, just breathing naturally in and out through the nose and dropping your attention down to the belly. And see if you can feel the belly as it rises, as it falls. Right? So we're breathing diaphragmatically here. The mind will wander. It's not a matter of if. And it's mindfulness that sees the mind wandering. So just recollect it. Remember your focused attention on the belly rising and falling. And if the mind is very agitated, you can try working with the labeling technique that some people find helpful for staying in touch with the breathing, what's happening. It's an inner whisper to yourself, mental whisper. Rising, falling. As belly rises, you label it. Rising. As the belly falls, falling. When the mind wanders, you label it thinking. Just thinking. And then reconnecting to the belly rising and falling. If you find the labeling helpful, then just use it. And if it seems to get in the way or distracts you, let it go. While still keeping your attention on the belly, rising and falling, begin to let your awareness expand out from the belly. So you don't leave the belly, but you add more and more of the body into your awareness until eventually you're aware of the whole body, from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet. You're aware of your posture, maybe making a micro adjustment if it has begun to slump. And with that full body awareness, you may notice that you can feel the movement of breathing. So as the belly rises, maybe you become more aware of your ribs expanding, the chest lifting, the shoulders rising. As you exhale, the shoulders fall, the chest drops, the ribs contract. So holding the whole body in awareness, you feel the movement of breathing throughout the body. Additionally, you may become aware that you've been holding some unconscious tension in the body. Again, typical hot spots. You might be furrowing your brow, squinting around the eye muscles, pressing your tongue into the roof of your mouth, clenching the jaws, clenching the buttocks. If you notice any of this, you can, as the Buddha says, calm the bodily formation. As you exhale, soften the muscles, relax. And if the tension returns, just relax again. So just taking the next minute with a full body awareness to calm the body. Now, if you gently curl the corners of your mouth up, just a little, doesn't have to be big, but you really do want a sense of smiling. And as you breathe in, imagine absorbing that smiling energy. And as you breathe out, directing it to your eyes. So breathing in, aware of the eyes, breathing out, smiling to the eyes. Then breathing in, aware of the ears, breathing out, smiling to the ears. Breathing in, aware of the nose, breathing out, smiling to the nose. Breathing in, aware of your teeth, breathing out, smiling to your teeth. Breathing in, aware of your hands, breathing out, smiling to your hands. Breathing in, aware of your feet, and breathing out, smiling to your feet. Breathing in, aware of the hairs on your body, and breathing out, smiling to the hairs on your body. Breathing in, aware of your finger and toenails. Breathing out, aware and smiling to your finger and toenails. You can then direct attention to various organs of the body, breathing in, aware of the brain. Breathing out, smiling to the brain. Breathing in, aware of the heart. Breathing out, smiling to the heart. Breathing in, aware of the lungs. Breathing out, smiling to the lungs. Breathing in, aware of the liver. Breathing out, smiling to the liver. Breathing in, aware of the kidneys. Breathing out, smiling to the kidneys. Breathing in, aware of the stomach. Breathing out, smiling to the stomach. Breathing in, aware of the bowels, the small intestine, large intestine, colon, rectum, and breathing out, smiling to the bowels. Breathing in, aware of the reproductive organs, and the sexual organs, the genitals, and breathing out, smiling. Reproductive system, sexual organs, and genitals. We could also think in terms of bodily systems, breathing in, aware of the bony structure, the skeleton of the body. Breathing out, smiling to the skeleton. Breathing in, aware of the nervous system, the brain, the spinal cord, and the myriad nerves innervating the body. Breathing out, smiling to the nervous system. Breathing in, aware of the circulatory system. So once again, the heart, the lungs, liver. You can think of all the arteries, the veins, the capillaries, and the blood itself as you smile, sending that smiling energy to the circulatory system. And breathing in, aware of the lymphatic system. Breathing out, smiling to the lymphatic system. And breathing in, aware of the fatty tissue throughout the body. Breathing out, aware of the fatty tissue, smiling to the fatty tissue. Now I invite you to bring awareness to a part of the body that you really appreciate, feel grateful for. It could be a part that we've already observed, maybe your eyes or your heart, lungs, whatever part that you really consciously are grateful for, that you appreciate. And spend some time smiling to this part of the body. And now see if it's possible to bring this same smiling energy to a part of the body that maybe you ignore or you might even actively dislike. And you might think it's too big or too small or broken, right? Not working well. Maybe it's diseased. And smile to that neglected, ignored, or disliked part of the body. Breathing in aware of it, and breathing out smiling to it. And now finally, bring awareness to the whole body. Feeling the body, seated in meditation, and smiling to the whole body. Breathing in aware of the body, breathing out smiling to the body. Let the smiling energy permeate the whole body, every cell, every tissue, every organ, every system. And just aware of how it feels having done this practice. No need to analyze or interpret at this point, just open to your experience as it's been. And I invite you to bring your palms together in front of the heart. Whatever merit we may generate through our practice together, we dedicate and offer all of it to all sentient beings throughout the world equally. May our thoughts, our words, and our deeds bring benefit to the world. Om Ah Hum. Om Ah Hum. Om Ah Hum. I hope you enjoyed the practice in this episode. And again, remember you can comment at the YouTube channel, Bups's Dharma Lounge. If you would like to support this podcast, you can do so in many ways. Subscribe, review, like, comment, share, and as always, you could offer dana to help provide for the materials needed to create this podcast. Thank you and stay well.